Can you believe it, guys? 2 videos in one day. I didn't think I'd be doing this, but believe it or not, we've got even more Arcade1Up news. Can you believe that? 2 big pieces of Arcade1Up news in the same day. It's like it's 2021 all over again. But on top of that, there's some other things I wanted to talk about, like the upcoming Analogue 3D system, and not to mention Pinball FX unveiling their next Williams release, and it's a good one, Pinbot. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael B. And today, it's a Friday News Blast. We're back doing the double dip because I've got some big news to share with you. Thanks to Arcade1Up unveiling a bunch of news today. Well, kind of not unveiling, leaking, I guess would be the right term. And then on top of that, I do want to talk about Analogue 3D. Was supposed to be here in June. Looks like it's delayed yet again. And then on top of that, we finally found out what the next Williams title in Pinball FX is going to be. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's Pinbot, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into all that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. This is your first time to the channel. You like what you see, go ahead, subscribe. Click the bell for notification. All that YouTube jazz. So we talked about this one a couple weeks back. Some shipping data came out that's shown that Arcade1Up were in fact releasing a new Deluxe Big Buck Hunter cab. That's a collaboration with a company I had never heard of before called Mossy Oak. Now at that time we had only had the shipping information. We had no visuals to prove that this was true. No idea what the cab would look like or if it would have any extra games. That is until this morning when I was just playing around on the EB Games, aka GameStop Canada website, because I had heard a rumor that the claw machine was in fact headed to Canada. So I wanted to see if pre-orders were up, and I heard they might be up at GameStop, EB Games Canada. So when I went in, I noticed a bunch of new cabinets, including some never before seen pieces, such as our Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak. So guys, while this is not available in the US, it is currently available for pre-order here in Canada. We got our first look at the Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak. My buddy James Hates Everything did post these pictures to his YouTube page earlier today. So you may have already got a look at these, but if you haven't, I will go through them. So here is the Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak. You can see the Mossy Oak logo actually on the cabinet. It confirms the same 4 games that were there before, and unfortunately, very sadly, there is no light up marquee with this one. So there's the 4 games that, you know, are synonymous with the Big Buck Hunter Arcade1Up cabinet. There's a feature page that shows you everything about it. We've also got the sizing, so you can see how tall it is. Definitely a big improvement over the original 3/4 scale Arcade1Up Big Buck Hunter that was way too small. There's another look at it. There's a look at the guns. They look to be the exact same. There's your side image with the classic Mossy Oak stuff. And there's a front image. So yeah, and there's the box that you're going to see for your Arcade1Up Deluxe Mossy Oak Big Buck Hunter Pro. So if anybody's interested in Big Buck Hunter, I previously had it. I thought it was pretty good, outside of the fact it didn't come with a light-up marquee, and obviously I'm not the biggest hunting fan, but the game was pretty fun, but I don't think I will pick it up again, despite this new partnership that I don't really understand. But anyways, there's your first look at Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak Arcade1Up Deluxe. Now, the other product that stuck out as kind of interesting in this whole piece was the fact there's a Miss Pac-Man head-to-head table coming out. Looks like a re-release from Arcade1Up. Going to be coming available in Canada. Also available the same time as the classic SE cabs. So we can just go through some pictures here. But obviously this has been out before. There's your Miss Pac-Man pub table with the underglow. Of course, it's in black again. I don't know why Arcade1Up refuses to do Miss Pac-Man correctly with the baby blue. But there we are. There's your included games. 12 iconic arcade games. It's got a 4x3 18 centimeter, 43 by 18 centimeter BOE monitor. I thought that was 4x3, but it's 43.18. Real feel joysticks and buttons, color changing light up deck, no Wi-Fi, which come to expect. There's the top-down look. Hey, that doesn't look half bad, actually. And there's the box, which actually does look pretty rad. But anyways, that's your Miss Pac-Man head-to-head table. If you couldn't buy one in Canada previously, there's a pre-order up now. But that isn't all, guys, because you can see also Canada, don't worry, we are getting the very terrible Classic SE cabs. They're going to be priced at $419, $299 in the US. You can pick up your terrible Mortal Kombat, Peasantcade with the 15.6-inch laptop monitor with the 13-inch playable area, all that stuff. Yeah, it's not good, and you can also buy your $90 riser to go with it. So those will be coming the same time as the Miss Pac-Man head-to-head on December 12th. So, honestly, for a company that we haven't really seen anything from in, well over a year, pretty interesting day. We got that port data about T2 Deluxe coming over, a brand new Deluxe cab we haven't seen before, not just a Deluxe re-release. It is a cab re-release, though. And we get our first look at Big Buck Hunter Mossy Oak. I think the most positive thing to take away from the new Big Buck Hunter and hope for cabs going forward, doesn't look to have that slim form factor, and it also doesn't have that terrible 15.6-inch screen, so things are not all terrible with Arcade1Up moving forward. Not exactly great, we don't have any new IPs, but you take the good with the bad, and you got to take the small wins where you can get them. Now, guys, we got to talk about another product, which is the Analogue 3D, better known as the FPGA Nintendo 64. This one was announced all the way back in October of 2024. Pre-orders went live at that point, and here we are almost a year later, and the product still hasn't come out. If you're not familiar with Analogue, this is a really cool company. What they do is they're using FPGA emulation, kind of seen like in the Mister, to create retro consoles that take the original cartridges and allow you to play those games better than you can on, like, say, a Retron, which all you do is you plug in your console, it rips it, and then you play it through emulation. This is actually running like it's the original system's hardware. There's no problems with emulation. It's basically a one-for-one of what it was like playing on the original console. Anyways, one thing that everybody's been waiting for is the release of the Analogue 3D, so we could finally play N64 games in FPGA, and let's just say it hasn't gone very well. If you go back to the title screen there, it says ships August 2025, but right next to it, it says crossed out July 2025. This is not the first time it's been delayed either. So another popular YouTuber was bringing this up a little while ago, saying that there was going to be another delay, but to be patient, because it looks like these consoles will finally be delivered to people in August, and everybody was kind of saying, I'll believe it when I see something official from Analogue. Well, we do have an announcement from Analogue, kind of giving us some justification for the delays. They're saying, following last week's sudden tariff changes, Analogue 3D will now begin shipping next month. We're absorbing the costs. Your pre-order price stays the same. No additional charges. Late August, the wait ends. Reviews go live with everything we've been saving for this moment. We poured everything in Analogue 3D, and we can't wait for you to see it yourself. Now, me personally, I didn't pre-order, so I don't have the angst and maybe frustration that a lot of other people do. I know my buddy RGT85, he's super frustrated with Analogue about this console. Me, I'm hoping I'm still going to be able to pick one up after it comes out. I just waited, but I didn't get into Analogue until a little bit late anyways. No, my first foray with Analogue was in fact the Analogue 3D. This is the best retro gaming handheld on the market. 4x3 screen, so everything looks crystal clear. FPGA emulation, and if you're nasty, you can also put your own ROMs on it, not just Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, but literally everything from back in the day, 8-bit, 16-bit, CD-based games. This has become my number one way to play retro games now with its FPGA emulation. Analogue's pretty badass, so hopefully we finally get the Analogue 3D. It finally comes out, and hopefully I can get my hands on it, because I'm kind of interested now too, especially if you can jailbreak it. Now I want to move over and talk about Pinball FX, going back to the last episode of Pinball Bites when we found out we were going to be getting a new edition in the Williams library coming to Pinball FX that we would find out about in July. At that time, they gave us a couple hints that it was made before 1990 and only 3,001 tables were produced. Now, a lot of us have been trying to sleuth it out and figure it out ourselves with guesses out there like Diner, Taxi, other games like that. Well, yesterday, we found out officially what the first new game in the new Williams pack is going to be, and it's a pretty good one. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the day has finally came. We got Bride of Pinbot way back a couple years ago. Now we're getting the original. Pinbot is coming to Pinball FX in the brand new Williams Pinball pack. This is one of the most iconic Williams pinball tables. I'm very excited to be able to play this on Pinball FX. Hopefully, eventually, Pinball FX VR and even the At Games Legends Pinball 4K. So very excited for the announcement of Pinbot. And we also found out there's going to be a brand new episode of Pinball Bites where we should find out the other two games included in the Williams Pinball pack. I don't know what it is now. Volume 8, Volume 9? I can't remember. So that's right, guys. Just 12 more days. We're going to find out the rest of the pinball tables included in the next Williams Pinball pack on the very next episode of Pinball Bites. So I'm excited. Can't wait to see what the guesses are for what's there. We know Elvira's not coming. So anyways, guys, that's my big news blast for this Friday. Second video of the day. Doubling down on the Arcade1Up news. We get our first look at Mossy Oak, which does give us some hope that we're not going to get these laptop screens in the Deluxe and XL cabs moving forward. Thank God for that. Hopefully the cabs go back to normal. No more slim, no more terrible screens, and we can start thinking some positive things about Arcade1Up again. So first look at Mossy Oak, plus a little bit more information about stuff coming to Canada. At least the flow is open again, right? Might not be the best stuff, but things are percolating. Then on top of that, of course, the news about Analogue. It's a bit of a bummer, but this really does sound like we're going to see some light at the end of the tunnel here. Looks like these consoles are actually going to be released coming up in August, and me personally, I hope there's availability where I can still order one. Last but not least, of course, Pinbot coming to Pinball FX. That's absolutely rad. Super excited for that. And of course, in 12 more days, we're going to find out what the other two games are. Call me a happy virtual pinball enthusiast. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of all today's news? Is there anything you're excited about? Is anybody out there actually excited about the Mossy Oak cab? I don't know. I don't know who this is for. Hunters, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.